Hi everybody, I'm Dan and welcome back to the Rock Nerd Radio Show. Today we are continuing our look at the Strange Tales Blackheart Build-A-Figure Marvel Legends wave with a figure that I feel like I kind of already own.
Come geek out with us on the Rock Nerd Radio Show.
So like I said, we are looking at the new Moon Knight from this Strange Tales Blackheart Build-A-Figure wave. And you can see in the package, we have Moon Knight in the package with a black inside of the cape. We'll look at that more. You can see some of his accessories. You can see the big Blackheart head as well. Up top, it says Strange Tales, as well as on the bottom of the package. You see Moon Knight there, a cool piece of Moon Knight artwork. That is also there on the back. There is a bio for Moon Knight if you want to read that. And then, of course, that artwork is here on the side as well. So this figure does retail for about $25. Let's open him up and share some thoughts. So first things first, right out of the package, there's Moon Knight, but there is this Blackheart head for the Build-A-Figure. You can see like the tendrils coming down and stuff. It does look pretty cool. And what I'm going to do is just connect it to the body, which is a tight fit. And it will look like this. I did mention in the Bloodstorm review that this plastic felt a little gummy. And it still does. I worry that the head could eventually rip that ball socket in there off, but we're gonna hope that everything stays cool. But we'll do a full review on Blackout as he is fully put together. In the meantime, let's look at this Moon Knight figure, and we're gonna look at the paint and overall detail of this figure first. So just to see him, we do have the Moon Knight, very looking Moon Knight head here. This is what you're probably used to if you've had a Moon Knight figure before. I do like the way that it looks. We have a seam on the hood that comes down, and then we have the two white eyes peering out, and the featureless face mask there that I like. The collar on this cape looks interesting. I don't know if this is a straight reuse of the last Moon Knight figure, the more classic one. In fact, I'm going to say it's not, because the cape isn't touching the floor where I think the other one does. I will be pulling that Moon Knight out in a few moments to do some comparisons, but looking at the cape, at least on the inside, you can see it has this black kind of shadow effect that lightens up a little bit as the light hits it. This is a very cool looking cape for Moon Knight. I do like it on the back. You just see the cape detail. It looks, fine. I don't have a whole lot to say about the cape. Moving in on the body, we see the nice Moon Knight symbol on the chest. We do have some new details here, namely these gold accents. So you do have that very Egyptian looking belt there on his arms. The only feature that really is on the arms is the Egyptian looking gauntlets with the those symbols on it. I don't know if that I don't know what they represent. I'm not going to sit here and say that I do, but they look neat. They are very well detailed. They are on this side and not the other side, so if you raise his arm, it's just that. But they do look good done up in gold. Everything else is just white until you get to the boots. We do have these gold boot tops as well. And there we go. In terms of his articulation, his head is on a ball joint. The hood kind of inhibits really how much you can move back, but there is a disc. I want to say there's a disc. I'm going to pop the head off real quick. There we go. I didn't realize this is painted. I'm going to take the cape off. This is painted black under here, so you do have some detail there. I didn't know that, but it is that disc to the ball joint, and you can put the head on, and without the cape, you can get like I said, the hood really inhibits, so you can't get a whole lot back. You can get a little bit down, but I'm gonna keep the cape off while I talk about the rest of the articulation. Then I'll put it back on. But we do have nice butterfly joints there at the shoulders, and they can go really far back, as you can see, and then pretty far forward. Arms are gonna go all the way around and out this much. Rotation at the shoulder, or at the bicep rather. Double jointed pinless elbow, so you can get some nice deep bend in there. These hands have the up and down swivel movement to them, and they will rotate as well. He also comes with a pair of fists. The fists will go in and out. All right, so we'll look at the fists more as we go. But one thing I forgot to mention when I was talking about the detail is the hands have these really cool moon like crest symbols on them. I forgot to mention that, so that does look really neat. In terms of the body, we do have ab crunch back and forward, as well as waist rotation. So that's good. Legs are going to kick forward that far. No real kickback, but they will kick out like that for rotation at the at the thigh there. We have double jointed pinless knee, and it does go just about all the way back. Front facing pin in his foot, which will allow for up and down movement, and then swivel back and forth ankle tilt there. If we put the cape back on, I'm going to pop the head off again. You can see there is a peg here, and mine came a little bent out of the box, so you do have to line it up to get it into the hole on his back. And then you can put the head back on. There we go. So with the cape, you can't get the arms back as far, but you can still move them for the most part. It's really not getting in the way of the arms, other than depending how far back you want that butterfly joint to go. But after a while, it almost looks a little inhuman, so you're probably not going to really worry about that. And it really doesn't get much in the way of the legs either. You can kick the legs out pretty much without any problems. In terms of his accessories, I already kind of showed him off, but let me move him back here for a minute. He does have these two fists, so if you just want Moon Knight to be thrown down with fists, you can. You can see that there are holes in these fists, and the reason for that is you can take these little tiny moon pieces. They almost look like fingernails. They're so small, and you can stick them in his fist. So if he wants to punch somebody with these, there you go. And you can stick all three. There are three of these. You can stick them all in the holes. I feel like these get lost real quick, so I don't really worry about these too much. But he also has a nice big moon boomerang that you can stick in his hand very easily. You just kind of put it on through here. So there you go. He's got a good moon symbol there. He's also has this pole. So, if you want him to use this as a weapon, again, he can hold it with one hand if you want him to, or you can have him dual wield it, or not dual wield it. That's not the right word, but have him hold it with both hands if you want to as well. So there we go. He has that staff. And then the other interesting accessory that he has is this Unk. And I'm sure he used this at some point. But this is something that, he can hold as a weapon. I don't really know what you're going to do with it. If you want to see how it looks, he could just hold it here like this. Or I guess if you want to make him kind of hold it with both hands, you can loop his hands around both sides of it, and he can kind of hold it up. So that's the thing. It, to me, is kind of the least interesting accessory that he comes with. The way I normally end up posing out a Moon Knight is by having him hold his staff in both hands, something like this. So there we go. That is how this Moon Knight looks. But I think it is time for some figure comparisons as he falls down. So first and foremost, here he is with this was the Walgreens Moon Knight. And overall, I want to say they share the same body construction. The boots are actually the same. These are just painted gold on the new one. The arms do have difference in, his arm bracelets, bracers here, and the hands are different. The capes are different, actually. And one of the things that I forgot about until I was posing this out is that the cape on this one is so long that it actually inhibits him standing up really well. If you have it pegged into the back, it hits the ground so much that it forces him to lean forward. So I've had him posed without this pegged in for the longest time, just so he could stand up straight. You can obviously take the old one and you can kind of like bend him and pose him and flare the cape back and do whatever you want. But honestly, I like this look of Moon Knight more than this one. I just might, when all is said and done, take this cape and throw it onto this Moon Knight, because I do like the black of the cape too. I think that looks pretty good. But yeah, so for the most part, not a whole ton of differences. Obviously, different belt, different arm brackets or bracers. But here's how they look together. And here he is with the Bloodstorm from this Build-A-Figure wave. They are in the same wave, and two very different characters with two very different looks. And just for the hell of it, here is the Marvel Legends 85th anniversary Ghost Rider with this new Moon Knight. As you can see, they look pretty good together. I can maybe turn Ghost Rider a little bit and stick Moon Knight here. There we go. Don't fall on me, Ghost Rider. There we go. Looks like a pretty good team, I gotta say. So out of all the Moon Knights that I have in my collection, this one's pretty good. He's not a bad looking figure. Interesting choice to go with in this wave. Almost unnecessary, I feel like. I feel like this spot could have maybe gone to a better character. This almost kind of feels like the type of character who you would get in a 2-pack with another character that you really, really want. I have a hard time justifying this one, but he's not the worst in the wave. I don't think he's the best at all. Like I said, I might end up pilfering his cape and putting it with my classic Moon Knight because I like the shadow to it. And the fact that it's a significantly smaller cape that lets him stand up straight without really hitting the ground while it's pegged in. So there we go. I don't know what exactly I'm going to do with this Moon Knight on my display, but let me know what you think of this Moon Knight in the comments below. Please share some thoughts. I'd love to hear what you think. And remember, you can always check out the Rock Nerd Radio Show podcast on your preferred podcast platform. Hit like, hit subscribe if you were so inclined. And until next time, I've been Dan. You've been pretty awesome. That's been Moon Knight. I'll see you around. Well, there we go. What did you think of this video? Sound off in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Remember, we are making a push to get to 700 subscribers here on the channel. If we do that before the HasLab Giant Man arrives, I will be giving away the old Toy Biz Giant Man Build-A-Figure that you've seen on my shelf and things like that. So hit subscribe, leave a comment, hit like if you're so inclined, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.
Come get